Think people are coming in. Hello, hello. Welcome. Donna Lee Bear, I see you. Judith, welcome. I miss making the videos, trust and believe, but I got some catching up to. I got to catch y'all all up on what's been going on. Had to give me some chapstick so you can understand why I haven't been posting videos. Thanks for bearing with me. Oh, Lord. See if we can get some people. I see CK. CK's in here. Mo's Kitchen and Home. Hey, I just knew I was going to miss your live. Not this time. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. I popped on a little late though, as usual. You know me and time don't get along, y'all. Y'all know me. But welcome. So, for those that are in here, first I'll start off with letting you know this is my 1 year anniversary. Now, this isn't the 1 year anniversary that I've owned the RV, but this is the 1 year anniversary as far as me living in it full time. So, October 15th of 2023 was the first time I slept in it. And as far as owning it, my anniversary was October 3rd. I had to check the date. I had to pull that up. So we are 1 year into full timing. I mean, I'm still a newbie, so don't expect me to change the title in any of those videos. I'm still a newbie because there's still a lot of things that I'm learning. Yes, thank you, Eugene. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations, everybody. Thanks for the congratulations. Yes, and I know there's some people in the family who recently got an RV. I can't remember the couple's name. Maybe they'll pop in here and let us know. But I know there's been a few ahead of someone in the comments that let me know they were doing the countdown. Like I'm about to have it in like a month. I'm down to 2 weeks. And I know that they finally got their RV. So I think both of us are going to have October anniversaries. And then the funny thing is, with October, I have some additional anniversaries in October. Matter of fact, let me check the phone because I want to say when I first moved out to Vegas, that was in October too. Let me see. You know, my memory is terrible, so I will put any and everything in the phone, so I'll be able to see October. I could have sworn I put it in here. Vegas anniversary. So I had moved to Vegas 2009, October 6th. So far my anniversary is in October. October 3rd, we have the RV was purchased. October 6th was when I moved to Vegas in 2009. And then unfortunately there's going to be another anniversary in October and we'll discuss that later. But I do want y'all all to know that I am no longer in Pennsylvania. I did relocate. I think the last live I kind of gave y'all a little hint that the move was coming. I see hello Lori's life. Nice to see you in here. I'm glad you was able to catch the live. So I gave y'all kind of like a hint, like, hey guys, I'm moving. Or well, I don't think I actually told you I was moving. No, I told you I was moving soon, but I didn't tell you when. So I'm no longer in Pennsylvania. I did make the move from Pennsylvania to Florida. Okay. And not only am I in Florida, but I'm in not necessarily Tampa Bay, because y'all know I can't afford the beach, but I'm close to it. So I'm an hour north of Tampa. So seeing if anybody's been keeping up on the weather, you can understand, like, hold up, you moved to Tampa? Yes. Okay. Just on backwards? No, okay. Cool. I moved to Tampa, or at least an hour north of Tampa. And what I'm noticing with a lot of my moves is one, it's usually like an hour away from a big city. So when I first got the RV, I was in Vegas, right? Then when I finally settled down in our RV, I moved to Pahrump, which is an hour from Vegas. Then this summer, when I made the move to the East Coast, I was about an hour from Philly, and now I'm an hour from Tampa. But the move has come with some added extras, some unexpected situations. But I'm going to try to break down everything that went down in the process. Okay. So I'm about to backtrack. So originally, let's see, originally I was supposed to move down here. I want to say October 3rd. Let me see. When did Helene hit? Because that actually lets me know. I got to see. Anybody remember what day Helene hit? Hurricane Helene, because that kind of lets me know. I want to, for some reason, I want to say around the 3rd. Your family's in Florida? Are they near Tampa? Are how did they do? Are they okay? Is everybody in your family safe? Because all of Florida, unfortunately, has gone through it. I got to get my dates, y'all. Let's see. So Helene was set for September 24th. Okay, so then let me go ahead and bring it back then. All right, so if it was the 24th, so then that gives me a better idea. All right, so in September, the plan was to be where my location is now around October 1st. And I was trying to give myself time because of Fattie, because he don't really like to travel. But at the same time, the place that I had selected, I found on Facebook once again, found in my little Facebook group. It's like um private land for RVers or something. Let me find it because if anybody's looking for places to park, you gotta check out this page because I have found all my favorite spots from this page. Now, the last place I was at, I didn't find that from this page, but that wasn't really my favorite place. So this spot, okay, so RV parking spots on private property. That's one that you want to check out a group on Facebook. And then also small RV parks and private lots available. Those are the two groups that I've been using to find places similar to what I like, such as my Pahrump setup, and then now the setup that I have here. So I found it there, and the lady was posting, and she also mentioned that she advertises on Hip Camp. Oh, you have a niece in Tampa. I have a friend who has a cousin in Tampa. Apparently, a lot of people have people in Tampa. So I'm gonna be trying to hook up with all of them because I'm like, I mean, granted, I gotta travel a little bit, but somebody gonna have to show me around. So those are the places that I've been finding this proper private property. So definitely check them out if y'all looking for spots. Now with this situation, I obviously didn't see the space before I actually came here. So I was really nervous about that. Now, the lady does advertise on Hip Camp. Now, Hip Camp is the same app that I had used in order to find that place in Maryland. Um, so she advertised there. She had photos there. So I was like, okay, that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. I had to put down a deposit. That made me nervous, seeing as how I hadn't seen the place. But I was like, all right, just you got to put down a deposit. At least she's not asking for first, last, the middle month, and 80 other things in between. It was like it's just a deposit. If you lose this money because this person is a scammer, you won't be too hurt. Your ego's gonna be bruised, but financially you won't be too hurt. So I was a little nervous, but I had gotten some additional information from her, like the address. So of course I went online and tried to find out whose name is attached to this address. Was it the same name that the person was giving me? The telephone number that she had given me. I then of course ran a little checky check on that address. I mean that telephone number to see what addresses was popping up, what names was popping up, and then everything was lining in place. So I was like, things are making sense. It seems like this is gonna be legit. We can get excited about this. So then I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the fur baby set up with a pet sitter, and then I'm gonna drive my car down. And then I purchased a ticket to fly the car back from Tampa. I was gonna say to fly back from Tampa, and then I was gonna drive the RV down. That was the original plan. And luckily, flights using Frontier was only like $35. So I was like, cool, all right, we can do this. So I'm getting all excited for my first solo car trip. I'm all like amping up. I got the car done or some things done to the car. Cost me a pretty penny. But I had to get tires. I'm all set on, I was like, after putting tires on this RV, let's go ahead and get some tires on this car just to be safe. So I put, the tires down. And then that same day, the plan was to also get the cameras, the additional cameras set up for inside. I was working on that. That took a little longer than expected, okay? Because my plan was to leave like Thursday night. Now, mind you, by this point, Fattie is already going through it, okay? We had already went to the vet once. I want to say the first vet visit, and I'm trying to make sure I get y'all dates so y'all know exactly how everything played out because it was crazy, y'all. It was just too much. This move was much crazier than the first one, and I did not think that that would be possible. So, when was the first visit? I'm pulling up his records right now. So the first trip was September 6th. Okay. So September 6th, I took him to the vet because I just felt like he was peeing more than usual. And when we left from Maryland, or actually on our way down to Maryland, I had him in his little carrier with a puppy pad, and then he peed on the puppy pad. He had his little, his little attitude on the way down. You know how Patty don't like traveling at all, and I just noticed that the urine on the puppy pad just looked a little sparkly, and I was like, I don't like the way this looked. This looked different. I don't understand what's going on. So when we got back, I'm watching him, and I just felt like he was peeing more than usual. But at the same time, because I noticed that his piss looked a little weird, I was also putting more water in his food. So I was like, it could be one or the other. But to be safe, I got some pretty litter or pretty kitty or whatever it is that lets y'all know that there may be some health issues or some pH balance imbalances or whatever. So I got that, and it was like abnormal. So then on the 9th, nope, September 6th, then I took Fatty in. And they were like, okay, we'll go ahead and do a urinalysis. Okay, so they do that. And then when they come back out with my baby, and they have the urine sample, and I want to say they probably also did a blood sample as well, but I know for sure they did a urine sample. I'm like, why are you carrying around Kool-Aid talking about it's a urine sample? And it was like, yeah, it's a lot of blood in this urine. I don't know what's going on. We gonna find this out once we go ahead and do the test and lab test. And I was like, I ain't never noticed any urine. I mean, any blood in the urine. This was not something that I was noticing before. This little freaky, this freaking me out. So I was like, I went home and immediately started looking at YouTube videos on how they pull urine out of the cats because I was like, what did they do to my baby? If y'all never looked this up, by the way, if they doing a urine test on cat, they get like a ultrasound and they put it on their bladder. Then they get a needle and they just stick it in the cat's belly and then pull the urine out like that. I ain't know that's how they did it. I ain't know if they were sticking tubes in his penis or what. I ain't have the slightest idea. So I'm freaking out what they done did to my baby. I'm worried. Come to find out, they're like, no crystals in the urine, so we don't really know what's happening. Maybe it's possible that, during the sample, it caused some bleeding. That was the story at the time. So I was like, I don't like this. So they did give me like, they gave him some liquids because he was dehydrated, and then they also gave him an antibiotic. Okay, so that's September 6th. Then later on, at some point, I'm continuing with my plan of adding water to his diet and whatnot. But by the 18th or somewhere around the 18th, this boy stopped eating. Now, his name is Fatty for a reason. Okay. So I panicked. And the reason I panicked is because Fatty has a sister. And I mean, they literally are from the same litter. I lost her in 2001. And I lost her, and I don't mean like I lost her like she died. Okay. Because I said I lost somebody. I said that to somebody. Hello, Lydia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just catching everybody up on everything that's been going on. Cause y'all ain't gonna get no videos for this. This gonna be the only way you're gonna learn about it. I was stressed, so I didn't record not once. So this is me telling you the story. Okay. This is story time and it's finna go crazy. All right. So I was worried when Fatty stopped eating because when his sister died in 2021, that apparently was a cue that something was wrong with her that I missed. I thought she just didn't like the new food that we was using. Cheryl, I see you. Hello. And but she was always smaller than Fatty. Like at the time, Fatty was probably like 21, 20 pounds. He was a big boy. She was like 10. Okay. And she also wasn't as social as Fatty. Like she would just hide away and you would just have to, she usually didn't pop out to the wintertime when it was cold. That was kind of how she was. So when I did finally just like, I'm not seeing her eat, let me go grab her. And this is Jules. I'm just like, you know what? She feels smaller than she was before. She not eating. I remember going out and getting as many brands of food as I can get. I got wet food, dry food. I got everything. Like I went crazy. She didn't eat, took her butt into the vet and they were like, oh, let's go ahead and do a full test on her. Usually, if they don't eat, that could be an indicator that there's something else wrong. Then we find out that she has stones, and they are trying to give her medication to get her to eat. She didn't eat, and because she didn't eat, they then said like, well, what we can do is actually essentially put a tube in her throat, and you're just gonna have to feed her through her throat for the rest of her life. And I was like, that sounds terrible. Then I started looking at videos and, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. We're just going to do this. I remember calling them and being like, go ahead and do the surgery. I'm going to come pick my baby up. The next day, I call him up like, when can I come get her? I know, I want to see how she's doing. And there was some miscommunication somehow or another because they were like, well, we haven't done the surgery yet. And I was like, so she was just sitting up there for nothing? Like I spoke to someone, told them to proceed with the procedure. So I was pissed, by the way, pissed off. They're like, don't worry, we'll go ahead and take care of this. And then later on, I get another phone call and they're like, we need you to come in. Nobody wants to hear that. So I rush into the vet and they're like, look, while she's been in here, her health has just drastically declined. We know that we said that this procedure was something that would possibly help her with the eating, but considering she has stones, considering that you're going to have to deal with those issues, considering that this procedure is possibly something that she's too weak to survive, we recommend that you put her down. So I had to put her down, cried like a baby for months. Okay. So then that meant anytime the fur baby stopped eating, I'm paranoid. I'm freaking out. Okay. Now we fast forward it to this year, 2024. Fatty stopped eating. I'm freaking the fuck out. Okay. The boy already had pee in his urine. Now Fatty not eating. We're going back to the vet. Go back to the vet September 19th. Let him know he not eating. And I'm worried he not eating because that was my way to get him hydrated, to sneak water in his food. What's going on? They then do an x-ray. That's when we find out Fatty has stones. He has bladder stones. Okay. Okay, they break it down like this is, they always give you a piece of paper on like what the condition is, what to expect, what to look out for, all that stuff. They did that. And then they let me know, like, okay, so we're going to put him on prescription food, give it about a month. In about a month, we're then going to have him come back in. We'll see if he still has bladder stones. If so, then we recommend surgery. And I already knew, well, I'm going to be in Florida by that time. So that month follow up is going to be in Florida. Okay, no problem. But just to be safe, they continue to they're like, okay, with bladder stones, with males, one thing you have to worry about is them getting a blockage. Because if they get a blockage, meaning the stones or any hardened substance in their urine get stuck in the urinary tract, within 24 hours, these cats can essentially just die. Now let's backtrack to more trauma, okay? High school. In high school, I had cats. Matter of fact, my whole childhood, I had cats. One of the cats that I had in high school got a blockage. And at the time, my mom took him to the vet, found out he had a blockage. My mom knew that she couldn't get the blockage, taken care of. So the plan was to put him down. She brings him back to the home, wants to wait until I get out of school. She goes to work where, she has a plan in mind. I don't know any of this, mind you. I'm just in school doing teenage stuff. I get home, my cat's at the bottom of the stairs. I pick him up thinking, he was waiting for me. I pick him up, take him upstairs because we lived in a little duplex, but I could still enter on the first floor, walk up to where our apartment was. And when I picked him up and got to the top floor, I put him down and his whole body just flew. So I look at him like, Panther, what's going on? Because it was Panther and his brother Midnight. And I pick him up again, flew. So it's almost like he was paralyzed. So I'm freaking out. Call my mom, like, Mom, something's wrong with Panther. He can't walk. And she's like, oh, Chrissy, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. He has a blockage. Da da da. So she explains. Once again, another cat with stones. This one's a male cat. But this time, this particular cat had the blockage, and the plan was to put him down. While my mom's rushing home, we in the suburbs, she in the city, me and my teenage self is absolutely losing it because I am literally watching my cat die. And unfortunately, he died before my mom could get to us. So he died in my arms. And I remember thinking to myself, how can I put him out of his misery? I didn't know what to do. But when my mom got home, I was holding him, I was bawling, and she just immediately started crying. She dropped all her stuff. And everybody knew, like she knew. So Before we disposed of his body, we showed his brother the body. And it was weird because his brother saw his body, he hissed, threw up, and ran away. And that was a crazy response. I don't know what to expect when cats see like death, but that response in that situation stuck with me. So I lost Jules to stones. Fattie was diagnosed with stones, and I was freaking out about the possibility of losing Fattie to stones, and then or blockage since he's a male cat. So when they let me know he has the stones and that I need to be on the lookout for a blockage, I am every time he pees, I'm watching every time he pees. And his pee started to get worse. It went from urine that just looked like it had a little bit of Kool-Aid in it to just straight driplets of blood. And doing all this, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do because I need to go down to Florida. I need to travel to Florida. So, in my mind, the plan was as soon as I get down to Florida, make sure Fattie's taken care of. But Helene hits. Helene hits around the same time I'm supposed to drive the car down. And because I was trying to do the cameras, that actually postponed my drive down. And it's a good thing that that did happen because by Friday, which is when, everybody was realizing like, oh, this is pretty intense. You got to be careful. My mom was like, don't go. You can't go. Do not go down to Tampa right now. Just wait. And I'm like, but I got to get down there. What about my spot? I'm so worried. And then, my main focus was like this spot. I don't want this spot to come up missing that for it to be snagged. And then I also was like, I want to get the car down there so I can make sure that the spot is legit before I drive the RV down. I don't want to drive the RV down and put the kids through that drive and then be salty. And she was just like, you're just going to have to figure it out another way. I'm like, okay. So then I get extend my stay at the location in Pennsylvania. I extended, I want to say, to the third. They had it for a few extra days. And during that time, after Fatty has his bladder stone diagnosis, and while I'm preparing to make the drive, I have him drop him off to my mom's house so she can watch him because that was the plan. I have her watch him. The dogs was going to have a rover sitter. Fatty, my mom was going to make sure that he didn't have a blockage. But then in the end, like all of that fell through. Like I couldn't drive down, so Fatty still wound up going on to my mom's, and then we gave him a few days before I brought him back to the RV. And during that time, his urine was once again, it was real bloody. It was so bad. My mom was sending me videos. She was freaking out. So at some point I just went up there. It was like the next day after dropping him off. I went up there and checked on him. He pops out crying. I was like, "What's up, Fatty?" And he seemed good, seemed like he was a good spirit. So I didn't, I was like, okay, let me just feed him and watch him. Gave him some wet food with some extra water. Then I watched him pee and we were good to go. It wasn't as much blood. So I was like, okay, that's got to be what's going on. As long as I got to take him completely off the dry food, only do the wet food, always add water to it. And this stay was until the 3rd. So it's Thursday, October 3rd. I'm about to hit the road. And when I wake up that day, and I was planning to hit the road pretty early, um, there's blood everywhere. Okay, is blood everywhere. So I'm freaking out. I grab Fatty, and mind you, at this point, I'm planning to go to to um to Florida with the RV. So my car's at my mom's house. All I have is the RV. I drove the RV to the vet, pulled out a bicycle, put Fatty in his carrier, and then we went on like a 1 mile trek, just him and I, to where the vet was. Because I just had to park at like the biggest parking lot I can find because it was the RV was too big to make it to the actual make it inside where the vet was. So I take him in. I'm just like, I think he has a blockage. He's bleeding everywhere. I'm freaking out. What's going on? And they're like, okay. They do the usual. They check to see if he has a blockage. And at the time, he was like passing, I want to say, blood clots where throughout the house, if it wasn't like just what looked like pissy blood or just blood, it was little clots of just blood clots. And then when I actually took him in, he had one kind of sticking out of his penis. So they like pulled it out and they were like, "So this is what it looks like." I was like, "Yes, that's exactly what it looks like. That's what I'm seeing all over the place." They were like, "Well, he's still passing urine, so he doesn't have a blockage, but we'll give you some painkillers." And I want to say they gave me probably some more of the anxiety medication, the same stuff that he was on. And they were like, I was like, I'm about to drive like 17 hours to Florida. Is he gonna be okay? And they were like, well, he should be okay with the pain pills. Just really watch him for the blockage. That was the main thing. So at this point, I'm like, I'm not doing the drive till you get a half a tank, then wait 4 hours, drive, 4 hours, wait 4 hours. I'm like, I'm doing my best to go straight down to Florida. I'm not sleeping. I'm going down. And I get as far as, so we leave out that day. We leave out October 3rd that day. So I get 8 hours in. Like I got 8 hours in. I needed to get like 17, y'all, to get to where I need to be. But I was like, I need to just rest a little bit. I'm tired. Keep in mind, I hadn't really been sleeping leading up to this because I'm prepping. So I was so mad. I just honestly wanted to make it all the way down. When I go ahead and rest my little eyes and wake up, I frantically wake up because I'm like, how long have I been asleep? Oh my God. I hope I haven't overslept. Where's Fatty? Then he hits me with a cry. Oh my God. The cry he hit me with, I immediately started shaking. I'm just like, Fatty, where you at? Fatty, where are you? Talk to me again. Talk to me again. He's underneath the table, like where I am right now. He's underneath the table, and I look at him, pick him, and the first thing every time with Fatty, first thing I do, I pick it up to see if he can stand because I'm still having trauma from high school, right? And when he can stand and walk away, I'm like, okay, but I did not like that cry. So at this point, we were in South Carolina, and I don't know what city in South Carolina, but I know to get to Columbia, South Carolina, which was the nearest emergency vet, I had to drive about an hour and 15 minutes. So I take him to this emergency vet, park the RV, the dogs stay inside. I just have the generator running, me and Fatty run in. I'm like, he has bladder stones. I think he has a blockage. Fix my baby. And then at the time, they was like, all right, we'll go ahead and get him in. So this is Friday. So Friday, I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. Fatty was they have to check to see if he has a hello, I'm glad to see you again. Hello, Carol. Yeah, I'm happy to see you. Crystal, I see you in there. Yeah, I know it's gonna be a story, y'all. I'm happy that everybody gets to pop in because like I said, there's no footage from the story. I mean from the travels. This the only way y'all gonna find out what happened. But anyway, so with the emergency vet, Fatty had lost so much blood that when they did a blood test, it looked like he was anemic. So he had to get blood transfusion, and then he also had to get a catheter put in. And he was hospitalized from Friday to the plan was to keep him in for the weekend. So once he was stable, I knew that he was doing good. I went ahead, took the dogs in an RV, and I finished my journey. I said I'm going to continue to drive down to Florida because I need to get this packed, get this parked, meet up, make sure everything's legit. Me and the dogs get here. I'm like, okay, it looks like the pictures, the people are cool. I don't see too many flags, and I'm gonna say I don't see too many Trump flags. I don't see too many people with banners on they house. They may be Republican, but it's not overwhelming. So I was like, I feel a little comfortable about this situation because I'm in a town that I never even heard of. I think it counts as a suburbs, but this particular neighborhood to me is rural because everybody got about an acre, and one neighbor has chickens that just be walking around. Another neighbor has horses. I know I hear a duck behind me. There's a rooster somewhere. So it's a very rural neighborhood. That was my first concern once I pulled the RV up, and I was like, cool. Now I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about this being a scam. Now my main focus is Fatty. So I'll get the RV parked. And I'm like, I still don't have my car. Car's back home in PA, but I got to get back to South Carolina to get my baby. So I go ahead and set up a reservation to pick it up on Sunday. So I can go ahead and bring him down Monday because the plan is to get him out of the hospital Monday, and then I'm just going to drive straight down in the car, immediately get him to one of the hospitals closer to the area I'm in so they can make sure he's good to go. I was just going to do the bladder stone surgery. It was just a matter of making sure that he didn't have another blockage. And if he did have another blockage, the good thing was since he had been on the catheter till Monday, uh, had he gotten a blockage between that say 8 hour drive, at least it wasn't necessarily long enough to cause any major issues. Now, if y'all are keeping up on the dates, Sunday, that's October 6th. That's when people start talking about Hurricane Milton. When the rideshare came and picked me up, I got my mindset on my fur baby. I'm like, I'm finna get this car. It was an SUV. The dogs were gonna come with me. I was gonna have space set aside for Fatty in the back so he can be comfortable to keep him stress free on the way down to Florida. While I'm in that ride share, the driver is like, "Yeah, we got another storm coming and it's heading this way." Sir, what the fuck are you talking about? There's another storm coming. Yeah, we got another hurricane. Give me to the rental. Just give me to the rental. Let me get my car. I don't want to hear nothing else you gotta say because right now I gotta focus on Fatty. So then we get back. I come back with my car. I'm packing up. The homeowner comes like, "Hey, just a reminder. Or just so you know, they're talking about a storm's coming this thy way. They don't know if it's going to be north of Tampa, south of Tampa. If it does come this way and we got to evacuate, just know you cannot be in the camper. You have to leave. If we are ordered to evacuate, you got to get out of here. The RV can stay, but you and your persons can't go." So this is happening. I'm like, I got to worry about a hurricane right now. Hold up. What the fuck? I don't even know nothing about hurricanes. That usually goes in one ear and out the other because I'm not in areas where I got to worry about hurricanes. But I got to focus on Fatty. That's all I care about right now. So while I'm driving up there on Sunday, there's still news about Hurricane Milton. By the time I get there, and I'm there, and at some point on Sunday, I get a phone call from the vet and like, "Hey, we're about to get him prepped and ready to be discharged on Monday." I'm like, "I need you to keep the catheter in because they're talking about some hurricane. I don't know how that's going to affect me. Can you keep the catheter in? I don't want to have to worry about him possibly getting a blockage before all this is figured out." And every time I talk to the vets about getting him bladder stone surgery up there and then traveling 8 hours, they're always like, "Don't do it. Like, this is not a good idea. That stress could essentially make everything that was done during the surgery null and void. Like, you could go right back into having to doing this as soon as you get to Florida." So I'm like, I got to get him down to Florida to get the surgery where he's close to home. I get to the vet Sunday night/Monday morning. So it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. When I get there, I'm like, "I want to see my baby." And they're like, "Okay, yes, we can visit. We'll bring him to you." They bring me Fatty, and he is covered in piss with no catheter. Why is my baby covered in piss right now? And where's the catheter? "Oh, there was a situation. He pulled it out." That's what they told me at first. Then they was like, "He pulled it out, so we had to take it out." "When did this happen?" "About an hour before you showed up." And I'm just like, okay, this is I'm like, this is not how things are supposed to be going. I need this catheter in him so he doesn't get another blockage. You're like, "Well, he's peeing on his own. Everything seems fine. We're good." I come back Monday, like regular Monday, just to talk to one of the vets on duty about what's going on. Why doesn't he have a catheter? And then they're also like, "Oh, yeah, and by the way, we took his IV out. So he's not, officially hospitalized anymore. We can hold him if you want him to, but it's just going to be considered a medical boarding. He won't have any of the care that he was having during the weekend. And I'm like, this is the worst timing because from what I'm hearing, I can't go back down to Florida. So I'm there on Monday trying to figure out what I'm going to do because returning to Florida doesn't seem like a good idea or even something that may be possible because allegedly some of these roads heading south were going to be closed or were closed. I know if that was true. I didn't even look into that. But I went ahead and just said, okay, you already took everything the fuck out. So give me my baby and hopefully he just won't have a blockage. So I book an Airbnb from Monday to Friday. Now, for any of you who saw the picture of the little camper, that was the Airbnb. That was actually in Bowman, South Carolina. I think that's where I was, where it was like 12 acres of land, somewhere in South Carolina where I drove by cotton fields. I seen real cotton fields. For this, I wasn't stupid enough to get out my car and try to touch nothing, but I seen it outside. Okay, that was weird, but the people were cool. So I think everything's fine. Once again, it was Airbnb, large property. They had horses just roaming. They had dogs. So if y'all were to find this place on Airbnb, if you're not a dog person, you may not like this because them dogs were just rimping and running. Okay. Um, it was horse shit everywhere. Okay. Just to be honest, it was horse shit everywhere. But it was kind of cool. And the whole time I'm like, the only thing that I need during this hurricane, because there's literally nothing I can do about the RV. I cannot stress myself about that. And mind you, everybody's stressing about it and everybody asking about it. And I'm just like, I can't do nothing about it. I just went ahead, looked at my insurance before Milton even hit, made sure it was paid off. I went ahead and reduced my deductible and was like, it's out of my hands at this point. I can look at the cameras from time to time to figure out if it's still there, but I can't. That's all I can do. My main focus is Fattie, and I'm just sitting there hoping that this boy will make it to Friday for us to get down. And I'm thinking, I'm real naive with my thinking because I'm thinking like, oh, no worries, we'll just drive if it's supposed to hit Wednesday, because at first it was like it's gonna hit Wednesday, then it was gonna hit Thursday. I was like, if we just show up the same day, everything would be fine. It's not how it works here in Florida. I'm learning that now. Okay. If anybody lives in Florida and you or any area that's been hit with a hurricane, I was real naive. I didn't know. Okay. There are still places without gas here. Okay. There are still places without power here. So my whole mindset was already set to being disappointed. But we gonna focus on the date that we at. So while we're there, I want to say after Fattie got out of the Columbia location, by the next night, I was already worried that he had another blockage. Now, this last vet that we were at in Columbia pissed me off because, the catheter was taken out. I was not even informed until I showed up without them knowing. And they took him off his IV early. Like all that had happened. So I was pissed off. I really didn't want to return to them. So I actually went to a place in Charleston thinking that once again, my boy got a blockage. I'm like, okay, when I bring him in, I have the same conversation just to see if they say any different. Like, hey, if I was to do the bladder stone surgery here and then drive 8 hours to Florida, is he going to be okay? And they were like, ooh, we wouldn't recommend it. I was like, screwy fudge. I'm like, okay, well, can we just take care of his blockage? So they take him back and they're like, well, technically he doesn't have a blockage because we were able to actually get some urine out. And what they do, by the way, when they're checking these kitties, what I gotta use you. So they like do something where underneath they like squeeze their bladder. They put pressure on the bladder and then usually it may squeeze out a little bit of pee pee. And that's how they decide whether or not these these male cats are blocked. Now, just so you know, female cats don't generally get blocked. They just pass them stones and are in pain the whole time. The boys, they got little dangalangs, little urethras or whatever. They can't get these stones moved or these blood clots or whatever the case may be. The boys, they go through a little something different. So then I went to another place, and at the time they were like, "Well, we don't see any reason to put a catheter in. He's not blocked, but he is showing signs of an infection." Once again, now I'm like, did the vet give my baby a goddamn STD? What you mean we got an infection brewing? And then I'm thinking like, okay, I got all the notes from the previous day to see when, he started, when they pulled the catheter out, what was the reason. Apparently what happened with the last day, the Columbia location, is he was peeing around the catheter by the 6th. And I had bought him in, I want to say, come on, phone, work with me. Like, it's me. Stop locking. Got me stressed. I'm trying to get to my calendar. So I brought him in on the 4th. By the 5th, they're notating that he's peeing around the catheter. And then, I got questions like, well, since he peeing around the catheter, is that why my baby may have an infection right now? The lady was like, well, this is kind of how it works when you have a catheter. They come in small and large. There's no medium. So some of these cats have medium-sized urethras. They put the small in and then they pee around it, and that's what's going on. I'm like, okay. Um so I'm like, so in the event that happened with Shaw, if it's because he needed a medium, y'all only had small and large, the large wasn't going to work, would y'all make me pay for a second catheter? And they were like, depending on the situation, like we probably may just do it, because the other place, when I asked them to put the catheter back in, they were going to charge me again. Now, just to put things in perspective, when I bought Fattie out of that place in Colombia, after being hospitalized, having a blood transfusion, having a catheter, my bill was $4,416.39. Okay. And to have another catheter put in probably was going to cost me about $2,000. So, the idea of that catheter coming out and then having to pay another $2,000 to go through the whole process, when it sounds to me that they didn't do it right, really is another reason why I went to that location in Charleston, because I was still all the way pissed the fuck off. Okay. So anyway, while we're in Charleston, South Carolina, they go ahead and give him an antibiotic. They don't do anything for a blockage because technically he's not blocked. And they went ahead and sent us on our way. He got an anti-nausea med. He got some fluids, an exam. And mind you, these exams alone is like $200. The exam without them doing anything, $198 in Charleston. Okay? Like, these bills is piling up, y'all. They're piling up quick. And they sent me back on my way. So we probably out there. I want to say we went in on the 8th, left on the 9th, and it was like, late in the evening. So now at this point, Milton's coming through. People hit me up left and right about this goddamn RV, and I'm like, fuck the RV. Fattie is stressing me the fuck out. Fuck this RV. Stop asking me about this goddamn RV. I'm safe. We're not in the path of the storm. I can no longer care about the RV. I upped my insurance, made sure it was paid off. That's all I can do with that. I'm worried about Fattie. I'm stressed. I want to say my landlady hit me up on like Thursday. And mind you, I got the Airbnb till Friday. She hit me up on Thursday like, oh, we're okay, because they stayed. They did not evacuate. They stayed. We're okay. We just don't have any power, but everything's fine. When she said that, I packed up that Airbnb so goddamn fast, got the fur babies in that rental, and started heading down to Florida. Before doing that, I started calling every place on the way to figure out who would take my baby. I called, let me go ahead, not who, the cities I looked at least we can talk about, because I was like, let me just see the path. Like, I knew I wasn't going to be able to find anything close to where we are because they had already planned to close Thursday, Friday as of Wednesday. As of Wednesday, they are like Thursday, Friday we closed. So everywhere I was looking around, that wasn't a possibility. I was looking at Jackson. I was looking at Orlando. I was looking at Tampa. Just I don't know why I even bothered to look at Tampa because that's like the dumbest place for me to look. But I checked anywhere. But I wound up finding a location in Gainesville that was open. So then we drive to Gainesville. Yes, this is out of the way, but Gainesville would have put us like 2 hours from where I'm staying, about 2 hours. I rushed them into a Gainesville vet that had been recommended because there's two in Gainesville that are popular. It's the University of Florida's veterinary hospitals, which is apparently where their vet school is. And then I went to this place called Community Care Veterinarian. And it was recommended because, pricing is a tad bit affordable. So I'm thinking I'm gonna walk Fattie in there. We're gonna go ahead and get this catheter because I know at this point he's blocked. He has gone like a whole day without peeing. I know he's blocked. I don't care what nobody tell me. He's blocked. He needs to be unblocked. We need to go ahead and get the bladder stone surgery. When I bring him in, real optimistic, real happy. The lady come out and she say, something ain't right. Ma'am, I know it's not right. He's blocked. Go ahead and stick that thing up his thing so we can get him pissing. I need my baby to be pissing. She's like, there's no piss in his bladder. I was like, well, he hadn't really been eating. He hadn't really been drinking. He must be dehydrated. She's like, there's liquid in his abdomen. Okay, that means what? Don't y'all start right now. Not during story time. Y'all need to get it together. What does that mean, ma'am? She's like, I believe his bladder ruptured. Some of the things that can lead to a bladder rupturing is a blockage, catheterization, and when they palpitate the bladder, aka when they're checking to see if the bladder is blocked and they squeeze the bladder to see if anything comes out of the catheter, or not the catheter, but the urinary tract. These are just some of the things that can lead to this. So I'm like, oh my God. Now, I don't know what of those things could have caused it, but she's like, I'm almost certain that the fluid in his abdomen is bladder. And if it is, since he has bladder stones, the next thing that we need to worry about is if those bladder stones enter the abdomen cavity, because now we need to worry about bacteria and infection. And if his organs get infected, his chances of survival are now 50-50. I need you to find out what's in my baby's chest, ma'am. She's like, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. She comes back and she's like, I did a test and the liquids are indeed urine, but I don't see any signs of bacteria or infection. I'm like, thank God. Oh my God. Maybe we can do this. Maybe we can survive this. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. And she's like, but here's the thing. At this point, based off everything that's happened, based on the fact that his blood cell count dropped so drastically, thus causing him to have to get a blood transfusion when you were in Colombia, the fact that when he was in Charleston, there are signs of infection, the fact that he now has what I to believe a ruptured bladder. I think that our services we can't assist him. We don't have a doctor on duty 24 hours a day. I leave at 8 o'clock, then he would just be here by himself. I think it's best that you follow up with the University of Florida. Okay, sure. I pay that bill. Okay, pay that bill. And that's $640.75 just for her to tell me that, and all the stuff that she had to do, because she had to do, they did a blood, I don't know what they did, but just once again, just the exam, 160. That's just the exam. That's not even to tell you anything or do any testing. So then they send me on my way and I go to University of Florida, which luckily is still in Gainesville. This one has 24-hour service. It's where their vet school is, where she graduated. Like, this is the go-to place. So I'm like, okay, cool. Let's we got this. We can do this. We can do this. Fattie can make it. I get there and they have a few animals already in care, critical care at that. So we have to wait a little bit. But once he does get seen, they do confirm yes, he does have uh, a ruptured bladder. He does also have urine in his abdominal cavity, but I don't know if there's infection in his abdominal cavity until they do certain tests. So they're like, we'll call you in the morning. So me and the dogs come back to the RV. At this point in time, there's still no power, just so you know. But I'm just hoping and praying. Like I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna pay it. He'll be fine as long as they don't say there's infection. I'm paying it. I'm gonna do my. I'm gonna try to fight. I'm gonna fight for my baby. They finally gave me a call the next day, and she break it down. Like he definitely has. By the time they call me, they're like, at the time they had him on with a catheter. They also had him with an IV. And at some point, because he was on an IV, they realized that as he's getting hydrated, more and more urine is going into his abdomen. They also confirmed that it was indeed his bladder that ruptured. And they can't confirm how big it was. That's something that they wouldn't know until they got inside. And she the lady on the phone says to me, we can get him into surgery to get his bladder repaired, and we can get the bladder stones out, but he has an infection. And they said to move forward, on top of the money that you already paid, which I put down a deposit of $1,500 when I dropped him off. They said it was going to be an extra $8,000 to $10,000 for the rest of. They said it was going to be $8,000 to $10,000 with a 50-50 chance of survival. And I couldn't pay it. So I had to tell that lady on the phone that I had to come down there to say goodbye to my baby. And I got the dogs and I drove 2 hours to Gainesville. And before they would let me even see my baby, they made me pay the bill. And I had to put down the balance on that bill before I could see my baby. And when they bought him out, he was in a hard shell kennel, just the bottom. He had a catheter in, and he had like a catheter almost in his chest to collect the urine in his abdomen. He was wrapped up in a bandage, probably so he wouldn't pull anything out. In fact, he was crying. As soon as I saw him, I knew I had to let him go. Even if I did say, fuck it, just clear out my savings. We're gonna do the surgery. I didn't like seeing him like that. So, as of October 11th, Fattie is no longer with me. So that's another anniversary in October now. So it's just me and the dogs. I don't have my fat man anymore. So So I'm here to have an uncomfortable conversation with some of y'all. Some of y'all have fur babies, and you have a dream and a vision to share a life with them. And unfortunately, some of them aren't going to survive this life. Travel, unfortunately, is hard on the body, human or fur baby. And for cats, the stress that I put Fattie under when I was traveling with him essentially attacked his bladder, threw off his pH levels. And you know, it's possible that this dream is the reason that he's not with me anymore. Now, I don't want people to not want to start this life if you have fur babies. And this goes for cat owners as well, cat parents as well as dog parents, because there's a special on Netflix, and I saw this, and I was like, that's not gonna be me. I saw this special, and it's called Expedition Happiness. It's on Netflix. It's like a couple, and they want to travel. I want to say from Canada to Argentina, but they had a dog, and they had to cut it short because the dog got ill. So when we're preparing for this life, I don't know if you all are preparing for all of the possibilities. You know, once again, I don't want anybody to hold off this life because you may not be in this situation, but I need you to recognize that there's things that you know, there's things that you know you don't know, and then there's things that you don't know that you don't know. And unfortunately, a lot of stuff that I didn't know uh, may have led to this. Cause y'all know I was doing everything I could to get that boy comfortable, but there was some other things that I wasn't prepared for. Um, and I feel guilty, you know, I do. But then I also kind of have to sit down and I remind myself, like, I allow myself to have those moments when I think about all the things that I did wrong, you know, or all the things that I think I did wrong. And then I think about all the things that I feel like I did right. And then I remember, like, hey, Jules never traveled a day in her life, and she still got taken out by these damn stones. You know, your fur baby in high school never traveled a day outside of that house, and he still got taken out by a blockage. But it's hard. It is hard. So not all of the story is happy. There's some things that I gotta walk with for the rest of my life. So, but I can't take anything back, I can't change anything. I know what I'm going to do in the future, though. I tell you that. When the cat distribution center picks me again, that baby is not going on kibble at all. At all. That kibble is not. It's not the best. I mean, it's cheaper per serving, but if you care about that baby and you willing to pay for that vet bill, you gonna wind up spending that money anyway. So moving forward, when I do, when I am chosen again to have a cat in my life, water bowls, stationary water bowls where the water just sits. Not anymore. I'm getting a fountain. I got a fountain. I got one for Fattie, but I'm holding on to that one. I'm holding on to some of the stuff, but some of the stuff I'm prepping to get rid of, to take hopefully to a shelter or a cat sanctuary somewhere. Like all his litter box stuff, I cleaned. It's outside. I can't look at the litter box stuff. It makes me sad. But I still have food, expensive ass prescription food that I got for his chunky butt. I got dry food, I got wet food. I'm gonna see if they can use that somewhere, and his litter stuff, see if they can use that somewhere. His actual clumping litter, see if they can use that. Maybe even the common spray I got him, the common, the collar, some of the toys. When he went to my mom's house, one of her friends, who's a cat friend, gave my mom some cat toys for Fattie. So those things, I'm gonna try to donate that. His area, like he had a whole area, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. And these dogs ain't shit. Okay, I took them to the vet thinking that they needed to say bye to their brother. These motherfudgers was getting on my nerves the whole damn time. I'm sitting there crying and bawling, and they just like, we trying to leave. Fattie finna go. You say goodbye to your brother. These mofos just sitting there like, sniff, 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 sniff. I had them in there during the process thinking like, with my previous cat, they needed to see that he was gone. They needed some closure. B Rabbit the whole time just scared that the vet coming to see him. Walker just like, give me attention. I'm trying to get on your lap like she is right now. And I was like, I ain't bringing no more fur babies to the goodbye session because y'all ain't shit. Get the hell out. I'm trying to hold my baby in his hard ass kennel, smelling like piss. My poor baby just went down smelling like urine. Damn, they could at least bathe him or something. And these fools just, can we go? That ain't go down like I thought in my head. I really did think that as a family we was gonna be around him, essentially humming kumbaya, and these dogs just pissed me off. So I don't know if any of y'all want to bring your fur babies to the goodbye session, because mine's bastards. Now Walker has been, I mean, she'd be up on me, so I'd be cuddling her when I need the huggies. She's semi an emotional support dog, but mainly she's just an attention whore. B Rabbit, I don't even know if he even cared that Fattie gone, so I'm confused. I guess I'm the only one going through it, really. But every day I'm a little bit better, and I'm also a little bit better as far as understanding that I'd say when it comes to feeling blame, I'm probably at like a 70-30, where it's like 30% of me feels bad and guilty, but the other 70%, I remind myself of all the stuff that I was trying to do to make things better for him. And then I remember my intentions. Like I just wanted him to be part of everything. I wanted him to be able to experience all this as a family. I don't want to just leave him in the house all the time. And I feel bad that I didn't really understand how stress affects the cat bladder, though. As I was researching while in the moment of all this, I came across a few YouTube videos that really opened my eyes to how bad it can affect them. And I just thought he just was like car sick. He just didn't want to be in the kennel or something. I didn't really understand. But one thing that was really interesting, all the noise he usually make when we would travel. When I moved the RV from one spot to the next while we were still in PA, I just let him roam because I had already had a whole bunch of, litter boxes all over the place. First time, now we only went like a few feet. The spot wasn't that far from where we were originally. He was just sitting kind of back there. near the bathroom. Like, hold on. I can't get my. There we go. It was like a blue bin right there. He was just sitting there, and he was quiet. I was like, "Is this it?" Like, now we did try to be rabbit. If B Rabbit's breath is causing y'all to have trouble hearing, it's because I got the AC off and he always hot. Is the windows open here? Maybe that's what here. Get some outside in there. Just breathing hard. The fan is on in the bedroom if you would just go in there. Let me get some air circulating in here so he can stop puffing and puffing in my video. Okay. Mind y'all, I have a fan on in the bedroom if he would just go in there and leave me alone. But of course, they got to be up under me. So, so Fattie, when we did do the just relocation in PA, he was quiet, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, this is a first." Now, a lot of people was like, "Y'all, try to travel without him in the kennel," and I did that. By the way, I did when we were in Albuquerque. I had him just in the back because that's where he plopped down when he got drugged. He was in the back, and I'm thinking like, okay, he seems very comfortable. I'm gonna leave him be. And as soon as we started driving, this food come out, meow, meow. So if y'all watch the Albuquerque video, I actually say to him, "Well, Fattie, if you gonna cry anyway, I might as well put you in the kennel." Okay, so I've tried this method before, but this was the first time he was quiet. So I was like, "This is interesting. Is it because he's sick or because he's finally getting used to travel?" So I was kind of hopeful, y'all. I was like, oh, moving forward, this may be okay. When I actually started the RV drive down to Florida, once again, I just let him roam and I had a whole bunch of litter boxes out and he found the spot and he was quiet. And the bad thing is, I'll never know if he was quiet because he was sick or if he was quiet because he finally was getting used to traveling in an RV. He was even quiet when we were in the SUV. When we first got into it, when he was first introduced to SUV, and this is the rental, by the way. At first he was fussing, but I let him walk around. Like I didn't pull off immediately when he was discharged from the hospital when we were in Colombia. I actually sat in the car for probably like an hour, or maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I felt like it was an hour though. And first he started crying, like, "Where we at? What's going on?" But then after a while, he was like, "Okay, all right, I got my litter box. I got a place to lay." And he just laid down and he was quiet, and then that's when I pulled off. And then he didn't cry the whole way. So it was the first time Fattie was quiet in the car. It's like in my head, I'm thinking, this is a good sign. This is a good sign. We're gonna go ahead and get down to Florida, get that boy taken care of. He gonna be quiet the next time we ride out. And if that wasn't the case, I was willing to just do short term travel. Like my original plan was, as of now, I'm here in Florida. I'll be in Florida for the winter. And then, there's a spot in Virginia that I've been checking out that's just opening up. And I'm like, I want to check this place out. But with everything that started to happen with Fattie and all his health just kept deteriorating. Literally, like every time we would go to the vet and I would bring him back out, it was something worse. That was the thing that kept making me so frustrating. It's like I would put him in thinking everything would be fine, and then when I get him back, I have to go right back, and it was something worse. It's just like it was so many obstacles dealing with this whole situation, and then freaking Milton just really threw things off because it's like I couldn't get him down here. Everything was closed, and I am grateful that we weren't harmed in Milton. The RV was safe, but I'm still mad at Milton. Me and a whole bunch of other people, we pissed off at Milton. Um, but that's unfortunately the thing that I picked Florida. I picked it. I picked Florida. Damn it, shit. During hurricane season like a dumbass. Another thing I'm gonna do moving forward is not come to Florida before December. Now that I know when hurricane season is and what it's like. Once again, I know I cannot change the past, but in the future, these are the things that I will not be doing again. But I just wanted y'all to know Fat Man's gone. And I'm in Florida for the winter. Milton did not take us out. But it is weird down here in Florida because when I was going back and forth to Gainesville, I learned that there's goddamn bears. I didn't know they had bears in Florida. And then the bears got the nerve to be near my county. I did a horrible job with researching. I was just so happy to be by the beach. I didn't think about the other stuff. When I get up in here where I'm staying, the landlord was like, "Oh, by the way, we get occasionally we get poisonous snakes and poisonous mushrooms. Y'all, B Rabbit like to eat everything, including cat doo doo. Now I got to watch out and make sure this dude don't trip on LSD and whatnot. It's a lot, and hopefully people don't steal around here. It's not my car because it ain't here. Okay, they done took care of that. So this past 2 weeks has been crazy, and that's why I ain't got no videos for y'all. Um, the dogs are adjusting to the new location. It's okay. It's okay. It's the door. Okay, somebody closed their door. But had Fatty made it down here, I think he would have loved it because we are no longer in a park. One thing that I did not like about that park in PA is when we were in Pahrump, Fatty used to be so cute because I would have the door open with the screen. The door would be open, the screen door would be closed, and he would just kind of sit near the steps looking out into the yonder, looking at the chickens, all the little desert stuff that was available to his view site. And once we got to PA, he didn't really get to do that anymore because it was so busy and we were right near the street. Leaving the door open and the screen, or the door like open and the screen closed, wasn't really an option because the dogs would start barking, and the way there were dogs around me, and all the dogs would just feed off of each other. So I didn't have the opportunity to really let him look out like that. And because we had RVs to right, to left, and front and back, looking out the window just didn't have the same appeal. So I was so excited to get him down here because, when we look out the window, it's just trees and grass and a whole bunch of lizards. I do have a neighbor to my right, but it's a tiny home. It's so cute too. We rabbit making so much dang noise. This is what I'm talking about. These dang dogs don't be mourning like I need them to mourn. Like, sit your ass down and stop dragging your butt on the floor. Okay? So there's a little tiny home next to us. It's so cute. And then we do have another camper that'll be coming. So it's just 3 campers on this property, and then the people who actually technically 4. There's 3 that are renting, and then I think there's a family member, but they're like far. They're some distance away in a little corner. And then there is the owners have a house. They also have a camper. I don't know if they're necessarily using it, but it's there. And I feel like Fatty would have liked just being able to look out the window here. I think it would have been so adorable for him. And then I was planning on getting like a cat, building a cat patio. I wanted to find a way for him to be able to go outside but still be enclosed. So I was looking at cat patio ideas. Um, I did have this fear though. I had this big fear about him being outside because there was I don't remember exactly when, but I remember having a dream once where it was me, Fatty, and the dogs, and it started off like a normal dream where I was just somewhere sleeping with the fur babies. And then out of nowhere, all these snakes came. And one of the snakes got Fatty. And I remember this dream messed me up because Fatty had gotten when I didn't have any weapons. So, because I was trying to get him out of the snake's grasp, but the snake had my baby. He was getting gobbled up, and so I had to grab the dogs and leave. And I remember waking up being like messed up from that dream. So coming down to Florida, that was my biggest thing. Like, Fatty not allowed outside. He not finna get got by a snake. So that's what I was thinking. And well, he didn't get got by a snake. So I guess That's okay. But he sure as shit got by bladder stones and everything that come with it. So that's not okay. But anyway, I got started going off on a tangent. I'll be thinking and losing my head a little bit. Let me catch up with everybody that's in here. See, I think I see more people in here. Thanks everybody for dropping in. Sorry, it's a sad story though. I see someone saying, "Don't blame yourself," and that's one thing that I'm trying to remind myself, and then everybody who has a fur baby, I think at some point or any loved one where you can't save them, you're going to have those moments where you blame yourself, and I feel like to tell people not to do that is almost impossible. Like you can say it, but it's impossible to not do it. What I keep reminding myself is when I find myself in those moments where I'm blaming myself, I also force myself to list the things that I did to keep him calm, to keep him happy, to show that I loved him. And then at the end of the day, each time I do my little list, I always notice that the list on the things I did to help him are much longer and it makes me feel better. That's why I'm at like this, like as far as feeling guilty, it's like this 70-30. And then on top of that, I start thinking about my other fur babies that fell ill to kidney stones and bladder stones and urinary blockages. I'm like, they never traveled a day in their life and this still happened. And knowing that this unfortunately happened to Fattie's actual sister, his litter mate, I also have to take in consideration that some of this stuff is genetic. And all those things, I make myself have these conversations, and it gets me into a mood where I'm like, you did what you could. Like, granted, you made some mistakes along the way because of your ignorance. You didn't know, and there's some things that you did know, and you waited too long to learn more about. But when that cat distribution center says bloop 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 bloop, here's another fur baby, a kitty cat, fountain water dishes, no regular water bowls, wet food, straight up doing that straight out the gate, just to at least set them up for success. Kibble is cheaper and convenient. I ain't messing with it no more because all the money I done spent to try to save a cat that had kibble and his whole life. And I'm also willing to throw in the towel on these clumping litter because apparently that can cause some agitation with the urinary tract too. So next kitty cat gonna have to learn how to use the bathroom. And then I know they say that cats like to do the digging. We gonna do both. You gonna use the toilet, and occasionally we'll go outside where you can get your dig on. But the litter that gotta go to, plumping litter gotta go to. So let me try to catch up on the chat. Let me try to catch up on the chat. So see where it all started. Happy, like, hey everybody. Renita's like, hey girl. Renita's still here. She like, damn, I should have left. That was a nice camper from Airbnb Van Miles with the yes. So that little Airbnb situation was pretty cool. And I booked it the day that I checked in. So that was, you know, that worked out. And for it was, I don't think like overall I don't feel like it was that expensive, but the thing that really stood out for me is with that Airbnb is that I was allowed to have the fur babies. Because as far as trying to get into a hotel, the places that I was calling that were pet friendly, it was like $25 per pet a night. It's like $25 deposit and then $25 a night, something weird like that. And I was like, with 3 fur babies, ooh, y'all finna run me into the poorhouse. So I was happy about that. So Airbnb, y'all, if y'all looking at stays, don't sleep on Airbnb. And then for my campers, do not sleep on Hip Camp because, as I mentioned, where I am now, if I wasn't here doing monthly rentals, it would be available on Hip Camp. I ain't gonna tell you where the location is just yet because I don't want y'all trying to steal it from me if I want to come back to Florida. So I'm gonna just keep saying I'm an hour from Tampa. I'm not gonna tell you exactly where it is because y'all gonna find out how cool this is. But I will let y'all know. Y'all gotta go ahead and check out Facebook. private groups for private property to find places to park, and hip camp. Everybody, I think, goes straight to KOAs, and they also look at what's available in the parks. But I didn't really care for being in the park, and I knew I wasn't gonna like being in the park because it's just they so close. Everybody's just up on you. You look out your window, somebody looking at you while they looking out their window. I didn't really care for it. We were so close to the street, so when people would run up and down the street, it just sounded like my walls were shaking down. It wasn't very fun. But right now, I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's just crickets. And at some point, I'ma hear a rooster. I hear a dog right now, but it's just very nice. It's like I'm out tent camping. Those are the sounds I hear right now, and it's much better. We got Kimberly from ATL. Hello, Kimberly. We got Lydia dropping funny faces, ridiculous charges. Overall, y'all, the way these vet bills was they was hitting me with these numbers, they was whooping ass is all I can say. And the bad thing is a lot of people who have fur babies that have bladder stones, that's usually the reason that they have to put them down is because they can't afford the bills. And then unfortunately, even if I could afford to have Fattie, um, to have the bladder stones removed, the blockage taken care of, the bladder fixed, that doesn't mean he wouldn't have got bladder stones again. Some people go through the whole process of getting the bladder stones removed, going on the expensive prescription diet, and the fur baby unfortunately still falls ill again. So it's always hard to not be able to afford the medical expenses for your loved ones, even though I know it's a fur baby, and some of y'all like it's just a cat. Well, it's my son. Y'all I ain't got no kids. That's my baby. I appreciate the love from Lori. Yes, Eugene, I see you. Oh no. Donna Lee, yeah, a lot of you guys, I know a lot of you guys just enjoyed Fattie's shenanigans, and he is such a character. He is such a character. I actually have a friend back in Vegas who's allergic to cats, and she was one of my go-to babysitters or kitty sitters, and even she had a little like, Fattie's gone. She had one of those moments when I told her he gone, because Fattie just loved going to her. If you don't like cats or if you don't like fur babies, Fattie would have straight up found a way to you, because he had same like CK's not much of a pet person. Every time CK was there, Fattie was in her face. Okay, there were times where he just invaded her space without consent. I remember one time he literally just jumped on her. He just was there and he was expecting love. So he is a character. He was a character. Right now, I'm waiting for his ashes. His ashes should be coming. They said it may take like a week to come. Um, and the box that his ashes are gonna come in, I don't like. So it's gonna come in a box. He's gonna have like a little name badge. But I also found boxes that are similar to the box that his sisters in. So his sisters just, it's like a maroon box. And you can put a picture in the front, and then they send you a little name badge that you can pop on. Since I'm gonna be getting a name badge from the box set, the company that they book with B Rabbit, all this itching and carrying on right now, go in the bedroom, sir. Okay, so it looks like this is what his box gonna look like, which is super boring to me. I like the ones when it comes with you can put a little picture. So he's gonna come in this, and then these things can open up. So I do plan to transfer him into something that looks like his sister box. So we might as well get her, because I gotta read. Now that Fattie's space is gonna open up, I'm gonna just put their remains up at the front. So let me go get Jules. Stay back here with the fan, sir. Sure. Itchy ass. All right, so this is Jules's box, right? And then online on Amazon, they have literally this exact same box in black. So I wouldn't get that for Fatty. So their boxes pretty much look the same. And then I'm still in the process of figuring out what picture I'm gonna pick for him. I gotta figure out which picture. Um, but this is actually Fatty's sister, y'all. For anybody that has cats, she reminds me of the cat on the cat greenies. And then Fatty just remind me of good old fashioned Garfield. Y'all at least saw Fatty once he had lost some weight. That boy was up to like 22 pounds at some point. If any people who have followed me from TikTok, I had posted a few videos of him when he was huge. I mean, he still was huge, but he used to be huge and obese. Now he's just like long. Well, he was long and still chunky, but at least he lost a few pounds. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? So yeah, so I'm gonna get his little box and have a little picture for him. Clean up this space because I don't need all that cat stuff. And then I guess I think for that space, maybe I'll get like a air mattress because that area is originally for a queen size bed. But without Fatty here, I suppose I can get like a air mattress. So if anybody visits, they can stay there. Do also have some rearranging to do, opening up space throughout the RV. So that's in the future. I'm just taking my time with it. Like I can usually start and then I have a moment where I just want to sit down and do nothing. So I've been doing a lot of nothing recently. And I'm allowing myself this time to just go through the roller coaster ride of emotions. And then I gotta go ahead and get back to it because I still got two other fur babies that need me. And when I don't create, I do miss it. So I do want to get back to making some videos and getting back to you all with some some updates and some fun stuff. And then being in Florida is going to be interesting because I've never been to Tampa. I've never been to this side. I did some vacation in Miami before, but I have no idea what to expect. Like the dang on bears out here, and apparently there's a place where I can go see mermaids. So I'm excited about that, and manatees. I'm excited about that, and I want to go ahead and bring you for the ride. I did find some cat sanctuaries, so I want to see, maybe share that with you. Maybe volunteer there. I think they have volunteer opportunities, so uh we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we'll see the future holds. But I definitely want to bring you all. So I do see a lot of people. They must. This is when the story hit. Judith. He is still in my heart. Thank you very much. Very true, Donna. You are fantastic for baby mom. Know that. Thank you. Thank you. Crystal Newman says it's not my fault. Thank you. It's good to hear. Um, if anybody, what's interesting, and I'm glad that at this point in my little YouTube life, the people that follow me are here to support me, and they're here to give me positive feedback or suggestions on ways to improve. One thing that I thought was interesting, and then also, kind of made me uncomfortable because I don't it like made me upset. I mentioned that there's a Netflix um document. I don't know. I guess yeah. I don't know. It's more like a vlog to me, but I feel like they listed as a documentary called Expedition Happiness. And with the Expedition Happiness, I don't know if anybody has seen it. The dog got sick, and then when you look at reviews about this, everybody's like, "Oh, it's horrible what the dog did. What they did to the dog. They shouldn't have." Like the people just, I didn't like the way they reacted to that movie. No, I'm curious to see if anybody has seen it. If not, if you have Netflix, check it out. I think it may also be available on Amazon Prime, but you may have to pay for it if it's on Amazon Prime, to just see how people feel about how they handled the situation when their dog got ill. Because they definitely said, we're not going to continue. So I don't know why so many people in the reviews are so mean. But you all have been nice, telling me not to blame myself, which I appreciate that because hearing that from other people definitely makes me feel better. And then it also helps me when it's time to have my little sit down talk, when I got to give myself my list, my positive and negative, my pros and my cons. Audrey is also in here letting me know to think positive. I appreciate that. Thank you for your condolences, Julianne. What else? I do it. I'm loving all of the positive that I'm hearing and I'm reading. So thank you all. Yeah, these dang on dogs. They're funny. My auntie's in here. I see you. I see you, Asia. Dr. Coulter. You know I want to call you Teeny in front of all these people, but I'm trying to be nice. Um, let's see. I see if anybody else knows the pain of wanting to travel and then unfortunately having to say goodbye to a fur baby. I'm curious to see if anybody else has experienced this. Oh, Judith lost your traveling dog. Oh no. Leave his things where they are. I still travel with mine's ashes every day. Yes. The ashes definitely I am going to keep, but at least some of his things I do want to pass on to someone else who needs it now. And then there's other stuff that I know I can use for the fur babies, or I am storing for when it's time to introduce another fur baby to the family, which I don't see that being immediate, with Jules when I lost her. I knew not to immediately go out and get another cat. But right now it feels a little weird because at least I had another cat in the house. Fattie was still in the house, but it feels weird now not having a cat at all. After growing up around cats so many years. Now the dogs that I have, these are the first dogs that I've ever had. And you can tell by the way they are, they ain't trained worth a darn. Okay. They're just very much loved, but they ain't trained. Occasionally, if I ask 18 times, they'll sit when I ask, or if I have a snack in hand. But these dogs, was my first dogs. Um, but it is weird to not have a cat in the house. Some of the stuff I'm gonna keep, but not all of it. This little stuff I just can't keep because this stuff really makes me sad seeing that. And the crazy thing is, my mom had got me a photo where it looks like a tabby cat sitting on the toilet. And that was originally going to be somewhere in the bathroom or near the bathroom. And now I'm like, ugh. I like it because my mom got it. I like it because it like Fattie, but the fact that the cat's on the bathroom is gonna make me think about the sad parts of Fattie. So I'm like torn about where I'm gonna put it, if I'm gonna keep it or what. I might keep it. I don't know what to do with it. Before it was cute and funny, now it makes me sad. Continue on. Let me see what else we got in the chat. Darlene knows the pain of saying bye to a fur baby. Yeah, especially when they got so much character. We got Mo's Kitchen. Let me know that not only are the bears, they're bobcats, panthers, snakes, and crazy people. I thought Vegas was crazy having to deal with coyotes, but it is a lot more out here. I got to learn. I now have to probably do some extra research to learn more about these. First off, poison snakes. Let's start there. Snakes. Okay. Let's start just snakes, period. Then poisonous snakes. And then apparently I got to learn about poisonous mushrooms, which apparently grow in this neighborhood or this area. So I got to do some research. So together we going to be learning some things. So I'm not walking into situations again where a fur baby gets hurt because I was ignorant to the necessary. So these are some things now I know as a traveler that I need to learn more about. We got Jackie from Wisconsin. Thank you. We got Jenny always comes to Florida in November, but I'm not there this year until December. You picked the perfect time to not come in no well, I don't know. Let's see. Is it November? Yeah, we still in October, so I don't even know how the rest of this month is gonna go, but hopefully Florida is spared for the rest of the season. Because I think they have dealt with enough. Um let's see. Sending prayers for peace. Thank you, DJ. Van Miles, did they refund you for your early departure? Actually, Van Miles, I didn't even ask. I just left. So I think I did do a quick look at what the cancellation policy was, and it did not appear that I was going to get a refund since I want to say I pulled out of that camper around noon on Thursday, and that probably, is the same time around checkout for them. I can't really remember. But the cancellation policies were like I wasn't going to be able to get a refund, so I just didn't even bother. And the same with the Rover. When I had Rover coming in when I was supposed to be on the road in the car, I literally was sitting here while she would come in and walk the dogs, and I was just like, well, my mom said not to go to Florida, so I guess I'm not gonna go to Florida. Uh, but I still got to figure out what to do with my car. It's still in PA. I'm still trying to work out the logistics as far as getting that down here. I think I may go with the original plan, fly to Philly and then drive it down, and then once again go through Rover to have someone watch the dogs while I'm away. See, we got Judith. I use a small earstring for my dog's ashes to match. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, wait a minute. That's so cute. Hold on. Okay, now I'm gonna have. All right, that's a cute idea. That's a cute idea. I'm gonna have to. I gotta see what the options are. Let's see, Mo. We got Tampa area is definitely gonna be different than Miami. It, is that good or bad? Different. Hold on. What type of different? Elaborate. Um, we got Hunt. Please don't tell me a pet. Yes, unfortunately. Let's see. I don't want to screw up your name, and I wish there was a way y'all could pop in here and tell me how to pronounce your name because I want to say Lawan Hunter. Hopefully, I said your name right. But yes, unfortunately, we lost Fattie. Fattie's a goner. Um, he was so fat and cute, and he just, I'm gonna miss hugging him. He was my favorite. I don't want to say this in front of the dogs, but when it comes to cuddling, he's my favorite. Because B Rabbit don't really like cuddling. Like I try to hold him, he give me a minute, then he huff and puff off. And then Walker, she's so skinny and little, so when you try to hold her, it's just like bones, right? But Fatty was squishy, so he was my favorite. So I really miss him when it comes to cuddling. We see what else we got. What else we got? And then I see somebody say they moved somewhere. I don't know where. DJ, I moved to Dunellan, second month, 300-pound bear in my trash. No, I'm gonna need that not to happen here because I don't trust my dogs not to get me killed because they don't listen. Like I could be like, "Hey, I need you to be quiet. This is not the time to bark. Let this bear go." They gonna lose their mind. Now the bear want to investigate where all this noise is coming from, and now I got to fight a bear. If you see me in anywhere and somebody's trying to fight, save me. Okay? Bear, raccoon, dolphin, help me. Okay? And I guarantee you, if that does happen, it's going to be these dogs' faults. Get you some bear spray. Here's the thing with bear spray. This is my biggest fear. Me panicking and spraying while the wind is blowing in my face. Because bear spray is something that's always recommended, not only for bears, but just as a way to protect yourself as a solo traveler. And that is my biggest fear. Now, I did start off with the other sprays, the ones that won't like, but still keep animals away. And also potentially give you some time to run away in the event that you are under attack. I did start off with like pepper spray. I just haven't opened it yet. That's what I should do. I'm gonna start doing with the officer, like officer training. Start off with some pepper spray. Make sure I'm smart enough to not spray it in my face. Then I can go ahead and get that bear spray with confidence and know that I'll be all right. You gotta think these problems through sometime. Actually, wasp spray works with a distance. Hmm. Okay, I like distance. I like being able to. Okay, I need to look into the two of them then. Wasp spray and bear spray. Hold on, y'all. I think my nose is about trying to run on me. Um, So far, I just been using the dogs. As soon as they get to making noises, we get gone. But sometimes you can't get gone in certain situations because I do want to do things like hike out here and do some nice trails. I just didn't expect to see signs for bears. And I remember it was the first drive back from Gainesville that I learned about the bears. And GPS had sent me away where I was traveling very close to the water, which I thought was interesting because I thought that would have been, maybe flooded or detoured. I was a little intrigued by the route it took me. Most of the way, I couldn't see nothing. Okay, no street lights. It was dark. That's how I know I had to been in rural Florida. Um, and then I want to say when I looked at the little GPS, it was around either 15 minutes or 15 miles away from my final destination where I started to see signs, yellow signs that said the next 7 miles. And then it was a big bear in the center. And when I got home, I looked it up and found out that not only do they have bears, they have named the bears after the state, the Florida black bear. This wasn't on TikTok. TikTok talked about the gators and the snakes. I didn't see not one bear video. So me and TikTok got some beef because it didn't prep me for this journey. So I may stay away from that area, but I think that's also the area where you go if you want to see the mermaids and the manatees. And I want to see the mermaids and the manatees. So I just need to know when they say bears hang out, like how many and how often. I got to get more information on that. Oh, not you going to the courthouse and having to throw the pepper spray out now. I'm about to be nosy. Was you going to the courthouse because of something you did, or was you going to get married? What happened? Darn, the plants can be. And you know what? See, this is okay. I'm glad y'all said that because my dog's always eating stuff. Oh, you had to pay some tickets. Okay, not too bad. Well, it won't be this January. I do want to do corsets in Arizona. I do want to do that, but I gotta get the RV a little more prep for boondocking. Like I need to invest in more solar options and things like that because I know people don't like you running your generator the whole time. And right now, the way my RV set up, I have to do a lot of generator life or generator running. But January in Arizona, what's today? It's October. So what's RTR? Let me see what RTR is. Because I had been looking at Arizona for the winter season. I know that if you get your little annual pass, a lot of people are out there and it's only like, I know the price increased recently, but it's still manageable. And they live out there essentially boondocking. That was one thing that I had been looking at hardcore price to actually get in an RV. Now that I have it, the only boondocking that I've really done was the truck stops. What? Your friends are always getting bear alerts? I don't even know if my phone knows to alert me about bears. Oh darn. I got alerts about flooding. I need to find how to get a bear alert. I don't know how to do that. All right, so right now I'm looking into RTR. Your guide to 2024 RTR, the Ultimate Nomad Event. Rubber Tramp. What? Let me see. It's taking me to YouTube. I'm trying to see what this is. And DJ, okay, so you tell me there's a lot of tropical plants that will make your dog sick. Make sure they don't nibble on the wall. God damn it. Okay, so let me get the Hannibal Lecter. Let me. All right. Okay, so because they're scavengers, I had to get them these Hannibal Lecter masks. And it was mainly when I was in Pahrump because they kept eating chicken poop and manure. from the horses. So I got this. They gonna have to wear these all the time. At first I thought if I just walked around and make sure they didn't eat any mushrooms, they would be okay. But now you're talking about tropical plants to get them all sick. I can't afford no more vets right now, y'all. Okay? Or y'all need to open up y'all own. I'm gonna put y'all to work. Y'all gonna have to be doggy influencers at this point, just so we can get y'all bills situated. All right. Oh, is that the mom? Is that you? I think my mama here, y'all. Mom, is that you or is this another Brenda? Yep, my mom's in here, you guys. Say hi to my mommy. Yep, I went live, mom. I had to tell him about Fattie and the crazy trip down here to Florida. So I filled everybody in because I know they was expecting videos and I ain't been filming none. But we gonna get back to it though. We are gonna get back in the saddle, as they say, and get back to work. But do know I'm gonna give myself a little longer, like at least another week to just be sad and depressed. To sit around and do nothing. And I do want y'all to know because I care about y'all so much. I even washed my tail today. Now I had been funky as hell for the past couple of days. Okay. Ain't brushed a lick of teeth, ain't washed a bit of ass. But I did today. Now I did put on something that don't match worth damn. But for y'all, I at least did that. I ain't put on deodorant, so them armpits still funky. They a little tart. When you coming to Detroit? Well, now that my fat man going driving further, it's an option. I don't know what to expect in Detroit or what to do in Detroit. When's a good time to go to Detroit? They got any festivals or something? Like, what do you do? Oh, okay, so Judith with RTR. We can do 50-50. So this is not like, how long is this event? See, I found my way on YouTube. Let me see if is there like a Facebook group that I should look into to find a little bit more? Tons of solo places there. Summertime. I thought you said it was in January. Oh no, Jenny's saying go to Detroit in summertime. Oh, so this is the Bob's Wells thing. Bob Wells, I like him. He tell you how to do things cheap. Well, mom, it's another movie. My mom, every time my mom see anything on my channel that say more than an hour, she referred to it as the movie. So it's the movie. It's the story you already know, so I don't know. You can watch it. Feel free to watch it. Now, folks. Matter of fact, while we here, okay. Uh, from time to time, do me a favor, y'all. Okay. As y'all know, Fattie done cost me $1.5 billion. So if y'all could just when you watch, if you watching these bad boys, just plan your breaks around the ads. That's all I'm asking for you. Just a water break, bathroom break, snack break. When you see an ad, go get your snacks. Let the ad run. Okay, y'all ain't got to do nothing else but that. If you could, there's just putting that out there. It's not a requirement. It's not a must. I just wanted to ask you to do that if you can. Just plan your breaks soon as they said in a bit ad coming, and then don't push skip. Just let it ride out. So Google can pay Fatty bill. Um, Google and YouTube. Uh, but we good. Just so you know, overall we are okay. I had a budget for the fur babies, so we're okay financially. Like it didn't put me in the poorhouse. It just kept hitting. They just a lot of gut punches because every time in my head I thought we were doing one thing, we were actually doing another. And the thing that I thought we were going to do never got done. So that's what hurt more than anything. Because I was ready. Like, go ahead and bloop, 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 knock them stones out. But my baby couldn't make it because of Milton's terrible timing. For this RT. Oh, I think this is it. I think I finally found possibly the website. This seems like this would be fun. So January 8th through the 10th, Wednesday through Friday. Oh, there's two of them. There's one for women, 8 that's January 8th through the 10th, Wednesday through Friday, and then I guess just RTR, which is the 11th through the 16th. So is anybody else doing this? How many people are planning to go to this event in 2025? RTR. And then apparently afterwards there's the Big Tent RV show. I don't know what that is. Oh, but if you do go to the Big Tent RV show, this is a great place for nomads to find seasonal jobs. Eh, You don't have to do OnlyFans. That's good. What can you expect at the RTR? Educational, informational presentation, live music, games, tables, sewing services, arts and craft, bulletin boards, cold weather gear giveaway, free pile food, opportunities to meet and gather with other nomads, and more. Well, that sounds actually interesting. I just don't see myself driving to Arizona between now and January. I just don't see that happening at all. Um, but this is something that I can think about for future. Hmm. Oh, that's not what I thought it was. Let's see. If you had solar, you would try that. Ooh, speaking of solar, I do have an opportunity or some interesting videos should be coming up soon. I don't know when exactly, but once I get back to making some videos, since I did put the indoor cameras up, I do have footage for that. So I need to finish it up so I can show y'all the cameras that are inside. I think I might be able to see one now. Oh, yeah, you can see one right now. So one of the cameras are in here right now. That was actually the one to show Fattie's section. But then there's so far I got two of them up. I have a third one that I'm gonna put up, and I just have to, finish it up. Reason that I didn't get to the third one just yet is because, excuse me, y'all. I've been opening up some of these walls, learning more about the RV walls. Not necessarily one of these walls where it's hitting one of the walls that hit the exterior, but like the interior walls. I don't even know what they are. Like it's not. It I guess just paneling, but I'm confused. Like I'm confused by these walls, y'all. But I did buy some stuff so I can start. Uh, is this what I bought? Oh, so at some point we're gonna talk about this. I got an endoscope because I want to bust baby holes in the walls just to see what's going on. See if I'm able to add some wall mounted decor that is at some point gonna come out for you all, and then we still gotta do our little solo trip, but it's probably just gonna be. It's not gonna be that. When it's not gonna be like a vacation style solo trip. It literally just gonna be me driving to get my car or flying to get my car and bringing it back. But at least I can show you some of the prep work that I did just to make sure it's safe on the way down. Oh, so I'm actually loving the outside cameras. So what's cool about the outside cameras. Now I don't use it for driving, mainly just security. But recently I did get a camera that I can use for driving. But what was fun during some of the storm was watching the cameras just to check on how bad the weather was. Unfortunately, once the power went, then I could no longer look at them. But I do like tapping in and out of there from time to time, see what's going on. And then I think it'll be interesting to really check up now that I have the cameras for indoors to see what the fur babies are up to when I'm going, find out who doing what. Because sometimes when you got multiple fur babies, you think you know who the problem child is, but I won't be able to confirm. It is sad Fattie won't be in none of these videos now because he's really the one that need to be watched. But just we'll see what dogs are up to, see which one of them destroyed what. And the outside cameras, they are still there. That was another thing I was concerned about after the storm. And since I was in South Carolina, like I don't know how bad this area was hit as far as the winds, but Doesn't seem to be any damage. Everything held as far as the screws go. Everything held as far as some of the additional stuff that I put down. I'm still able to view them without any issues and anything. The only thing that is happening now with the outside cameras that is problematic is these little critters. These little spiders. I got a lot of spiders around here that like to build little webs around the lenses, and I can always see. Occasionally, I can see the spider webs in the view. So I'm gonna have to get up there and just be like, "Can you find a new place, Charlotte? This got to go." But they've held up, and I'm pretty proud about that. We done made it from Nevada to PA, from PA to Florida with the cameras. So I think it's good to say I did a good job drilling them into these good old fashioned exterior walls. They good to go. So I'm good about that. Veg made easy. I see you with the I don't know. I don't know what the why you gave me that face though. Why you gave me that emoji. Kim Thomas, I see what's good, girl. If you just popping in, you done missed a bit of a story. This almost near the end of the live. I'm gonna let you catch up though. Okay, so you're going just to hang out with other RVers, male, and a lot of solo females. So you going to the regular one. You're not specifically going to the one just for the ladies. Have you done this before? Have you been to this event before? Has anybody been to this event? RTR by Mr. Bob Wells, Rubber Tramp Rendezvous. Rubber Tramp. Like, why is it? Where did the name come from? What does that mean? I do want to do some meetups. Someone else asked about meetups. That's why I'm hoping that at some point I can get to this RV park in Virginia. It's supposed to be, excuse me, an RV park with for or it's like RV and tiny home park. Let me see if I can remember what it's called. So y'all gotta look out. Y'all gotta look out for this RV park. It is going to be, from my understanding, minority owned. I do believe it's going to be female owners, from who I see most of the time advertising is my guess, but I don't know 100%. So let's see. The place in Virginia that I think people should start taking, if you're in the area, start looking out for it. So it's going to be called Turtle Island Off the River Campground, Tiny Home and RV Park. And it's going to be in Martinsville, Virginia. I don't know where that is exactly, but I did do a little map search, and I guess it's close to the border. Like it's the southern border of Virginia. I learned about it on Facebook. Am I gonna be wait? Okay, dang, y'all can't see that, but it's on Facebook. Turtle Island Off the River Campground and Tiny Home and RV Park. 6 acres nestled off of the Smith River in Virginia. I don't know where these places are, but I know where Virginia is. And I know that every time I see it advertised, it just appears that the owners are women and minority women at that. So I'm like, girl, I'm a support. I am going to support, and they are in the building process. And it seems like it'll be fun. Seems like it'll be fun. If I was to do a meetup, this is definitely one place I would consider doing it, because they also have partnered with, I'm seeing a business called 101 Bar Roll and Entertainment, where it looks like they essentially bring a trailer, like a party trailer, any and everywhere, and together it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun. They look like they work together often. And I see a lot of brown women, y'all. So, for my individuals who don't fit that uh description, no disrespect to you, but I'm certainly going to support the people that look like me. Yeah, so Facebook, we want to start off with wait, I guess I can write it in the chat. Or maybe I can do a link. Hold on now. Can I do that? I don't want to confuse myself. Okay. Can I if I do this? Can y'all still see me? Facebook Turtle Island off the river. Let's see if they let me do a little linky link. They may even have. Just want a link. Facebook. Just give me the link without being extra. Okay. Well. Okay. Well, I'll just have to do it this way. Copy. So this is the place that I'm like really. Y'all, I be forgetting how to. Hold on. Hold on. I'll be forgetting how to work the dang on Mac. Where's copy? Okay. I'm so used to Windows. All right, that's what's called. That's the park name. So y'all gotta check this place out. Tell me how you feel about it. Look like it's gonna be, exciting. I just think it's exciting that they are literally in the building process. Like you see them updating their Facebook about getting each sections of the property done. And then this 101 bar role in entertainment that I see them working with. Looks like that would be fun, where they would throw a good mean party. Look into pet insurance. Yes. So this is something that I have been putting off over and over again, pet insurance, because now that, for example, Waka is B Rabbit's 13. Okay, B Rabbit's 13, and I feel like he has what would be considered pre-existing conditions. And then Waka, I feel like, well, she would be okay. But I'm always worried about how much it would cost to now sign them up since I didn't start when they were younger. But that's another thing that I plan on doing different in the future once I get chosen again by some fur babies. Is definitely from the very beginning. Just go ahead and put the money out for the insurance. Definitely, but I guess it doesn't hurt to still look at it in. Oh no, they were attacked by 3 strays trying to protect me. He had to have emergency surgery. My goodness. All right, so is your fur baby okay? Did your fur baby survive the attack? I hope so, because I can't take any more sadness today. Oh snap, Judith, you're gonna be there in Arizona for 3 weeks. Oh, okay. Anybody in the chat actually have pet insurance? I'm curious about what you're paying for and your experience once you need it. I don't know. Like, I don't know anybody in person that has insurance. I just see the commercials, but the ads, I guess we can say. I think this group also has an Instagram and a YouTube. Judith, what I miss? Because it looked like whatever message you had earlier, it was retracted. And then I see folks, so I'm trying to figure out what I miss. I'm going to just hang out with other RVs, male and females, and message retracted. You don't have to leave either. So you'll be there for 3. So where are you now? For you to get, like, what's that trek to Arizona looking like for you? Where are you coming from? Did I lose you? I don't know if you're still with me or not. Like, is it? Am I tripping? Is anybody here? I'm trying to figure out what's going on with chat. Top chat, live chat. Maybe that's what I need. There we go. Okay. See, I see Van Miles is here. Okay, okay. All right, all right. There we go. Karen's here. Okay, because I was like, did it freeze up on me? Gwen's here. Appreciate all y'all for answering, so I'm not looking crazy. Okay, cool. We got Crystal Newman still in here. Crystal, I did mention that. That's my name, right? You just spell yours with a K. I spell mine with a C. So we twinsies. Oh, okay. DJ, you went to buy, like, literally you went to buy beer spray and water spray was let me go ahead. Every now and then when y'all be talking, I go straight to my little Amazon list. Hold on now. Let me look at it. Let me get it. And then it's funny because for this trip up here, I remember I just want you all to know when y'all give me recommendations, I'll be listening. Cause some stuff that I bought, yeah, some stuff that I bought. So when I had the incident driving in Pennsylvania and we were on the side of the road for a while, somebody mentioned air flares. I mean USB flares. I did get that. I didn't need to use them this time, but I had them. Let's see if any juice in this right now. So moving forward, y'all, in the event of an emergency, if I'm out on the side of the road, a girl is ready. Okay. Oh dang, you gotta what? You have to fly. You can't take your RV. I missed that part. I didn't realize that. How? Oh dang. Well, that's a bummer. Uh, apparently there's options here. Oh yes. Okay. How the hell you turn this damn thing off? Okay, we finally got there. Okay, let me get y'all to the group. Cause I love me this group. I love this group. I be in it all the time. So let me see. Okay, hold on. Let me figure out. Cause Facebook act like I wasn't. They blocked me. I said, what that mean? Okay, let me see. Let me get to my Facebook so I can get y'all the links. Cause Facebook log in. What is my Facebook? That ain't it. Hold on. What is my Facebook? Well, obviously I have not logged into Facebook on this laptop. Okay, we gonna have to do it the other way. We gonna do it the other way. Facebook groups. So, the group that I have been using to find my spots. First one is. Okay, let me see if I can get this. Share. Copy link. I'm gonna see if the phone will let me hop into the live. If that's like a thing that I can do. Maybe not. Yeah. Yeah. Turn that down. All right, so that's one Facebook group. And if anybody's wondering if you are on your laptop, you can log into your live on your cell phone. Cool. All right, so that one's called RV Spots on. Now, where's the other one? Well, I didn't mean to scare you. Share. Not the noses. Copy link. Okay. We're gonna log out of there. Okay, so let me know if y'all can get into those links. Those are the two that I use most often. And then, of course, what Facebook groups, which is pretty cool, is once you're in the group, if there's a particular area that you're looking for, um, just search or put in the search engine and it'll pop up previous messages or posts that have that in it. So, for me, I probably started off with Florida in my post and then narrowed it down to typing in Tampa until I started noticing people posting about this location. And luckily with this one, as I mentioned, she's on hip camp, so I was able to get more photos. Now the only difference um, between their hip camp reservation and what I actually am experiencing now is that previously they had like lambs on the property. They don't have the lambs anymore, so I'm a little sad about that. Y'all know I'll be wanting to see the fur babies of all kinds, but I'm gonna have to make friends with the neighbors since they got ducks, chickens, horses, and dogs. They got the combo pack of. And it's just so crazy seeing the chickens running around just unattended. Like, y'all not worried somebody dog finna snatch your chicken up? Because my dogs would snatch your chicken up. I've been to Florida for 4 years. First Clearwater now. Dunedin, all above the animals have been on my porch or in my. Really? Am I even saying it right? Dunedin. I have never heard of this place. Let me see where you at. Let me see. Clearwater. So Clearwater, I feel like is around the area where my friend was considering. So, I don't know if I actually explained how Tampa came about. So, fun story. So for a while, I was gung ho about moving to, and this is gonna sound crazy, Alabama, and it's because there was a animal rescue in Georgia that I learned about, probably through one of these RV groups. Because I know when I reached out on Facebook, I was like, "Hey, I'm interested in possibly living in these states, and I want to live somewhere where it's either a farm, a ranch, or animal rescue." And someone responded, and they explained that they had a ranch or animal rescue in Georgia, and it also had a relationship with an RV park in Alabama, and that right there on the border. And at first, I was confused because I didn't really realize how close these two properties were. Where they were explaining that it's only like 5 miles the difference. Now, I was really gung ho about this, and then I was telling people like, "Yeah, I'm gonna move to Alabama. I'm gonna move to Alabama," and they were like, "Where in Alabama?" Then I say where, and they said, "Well, I don't know about this. Okay, I know you an adventurer, but I don't know about this. This seems you got to be a little careful. You can't just go any and everywhere. Some people may not welcome you." And at first, I was like, "Well, the lady at the rescue said that even though it's a red state, this particular area is real liberal, and I should be fine." And then I said, "You know what? My definition of liberal versus somebody else's definition of liberal could be two different definitions, and it could make me uncomfortable if I sign up for something for a long period of time, but then I feel like the other the whole time I'm there. Like I don't want to feel uncomfortable." So then, what I started to do was actually look at um I did take in consideration how people were voting. First and foremost, the first thing I did was see if any of the cities that were in this area were listed on the Sundown State link. I think I could included that link at some point on one of my posts, and I was like, no, nothing was there. So I was like, okay, we're good to go. But then I also looked at the area, and I was just like, there is literally nothing, like nothing. And then that made me uncomfortable because I'm like, when there's nothing, you don't have time to intermingle with other people to be like, oh, I don't know, just like if you, I don't know. I just need to be close to some type of city, I guess. Not too close. I don't want to be too close, but I need to be close to some type of city where I feel like there's some type of meshing of the cultures, a meshing of the group, meshing of the minds, just somewhere where nearby people can come out of their comfort zone and take on new thoughts, be able to absorb new anything. And that didn't look like the case where the city was. So I said, maybe I should hold off on this. I should do a little visit first before committing entirely, just so I don't feel like I'm into a place and I just feel out of place. So I opted not to do that move because it would have been more or less as soon as I moved to RV, I would have had to commit to a long period of time. So I was like, let's not wait, let's not jump to that. I guess I gotta. So RG Hurst likes Alabama. I gotta see where you are. Cause let me see where this was in Alabama. Okay, let me get the info. Let me see how y'all what y'all know about this place and tell me if y'all have any stories. Cause this can be something I can do later. Cause I'm still excited about the being near like a ranch. I think that would be so cool. So the ranch was in Cloud Loud, Georgia. No, Cloudland. I always say the wrong thing. Is anybody familiar with Cloudland, Georgia? There's an animal ranch out there that I think would be cool. And then the actual RV park, let me get you. Now, the RV park, which has a partnership with this ranch, is in Alabama. And I got to get the details on that. Hold on. I don't see anybody mentioning Cloudland, Georgia. My employer actually offers pet insurance. I don't have medical for myself because I'm a veteran, but my baby is covered. That's crazy. I love the fact that your employer offers pet insurance. I think a lot more employers are starting to do that, which is pretty cool. And then you don't have medical for yourself, but your baby's covered. That's cute. That's how it's going to be with these fur babies because I ain't covered either. That's one reason why I was like, I gotta be careful about how much money I put into Fattie right now because if I come up sick, I won't be able to take care of nobody at this point. Where the heck is this Alabama location? It's like 101. Let me see, y'all. I know it's on Facebook somewhere. 101. Nope, that's that bar I'm thinking of. Hmm. I can't remember what city in Alabama I was looking at because all I can remember is the animal sanctuary in its name. So if anybody has any experience with Cloud Land, Georgia, let me know your experience. And hopefully at some point I can figure out where the RV park was. And then I'd like to know if anybody has any experience with this area in Alabama so I can. Is it in Alabama? Yeah, or is it in Arkansas? Hold on. Let me look at a map. Now I think I'm confused. Uh, go to the emails. Okay. Mentone, Alabama. Have you heard of Mentone, Alabama? Mentone. Look like Mentone. I need to know what that is like. Banfield, is that where you work? That's your employer? What they do? You allowed to work from home? You might be on a delay. Oh shoot. I mean, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to fix that. But I'm happy so you were able to at least use the link to get to the Facebook group, which is a plus. Because I think that'll be helpful for quite a few people when it comes to finding locations. Because they have helped me for show. I'm just looking at the link myself now. Small RV parks. And yeah, those are the two groups. Those are two groups. Great. Now when y'all see me in there asking people where to live, don't be snitching on me. Dana Dane, thank you. We appreciate the prayers. I appreciate that very much so. I am seeing that. I just want to. I am about to head out though. I'm about to get back to my depression. Just to be honest, go ahead and be sad for a little bit more. But I just see that there are some conversations, some tips and tricks being given to each other. I want to make sure everybody has a chance to catch up on that. Your employers also might feel I'm on a delay with your life, and maybe Facebook like, look, girl, you've been on long enough. You using up our bandwidth or something. I don't know. Maybe that's why they're making it delayed. Plus, I do need to go ahead and get back to the fur babies, give them some attention since I've been egging them and yelling at them for the past 2 hours. Excuse me. But I do appreciate everybody for stopping on in. Just wanted to give you an update. Do know that I will be back dropping some videos. Just give me a little bit of time. But I am excited to be here in Florida and to explore. And I definitely can't wait to show you what I learned. And I also have some projects that I need to do on the RV, as well as, like I probably got like a video or two worth of footage that I need to get to so I can drop that for you. Yeah, Karen, exactly. It's like really small. That's why I was worried about Alabama. That's why I changed my mind about going there because I was like, this town is super small and it made me nervous. But then at the same time, like I've never been there, so even though it's super super small, I just didn't want to commit to a lease without seeing the place. I just felt a little more comfortable coming down here to Florida, and and then I was just excited to be back to some water after spending a few days in Maryland on the beach. I got really excited when a friend mentioned that she was considering Tampa, and I didn't finish the story. I had a friend who I met in Vegas years ago who's currently in Colorado, but now she's looking to move to Florida. She's considering the Tampa area. She mentioned that to me, and that's how this whole journey began. My move to the Tampa area. She wants to get a lot closer to the water, but I'm happy where I am. I'll just do the drive. But I'm gonna go ahead and bounce. Thank you everybody for coming on in. I super super appreciate all the positive feedback as well as the blessings and the condolences. Um, I am still happy that I have plenty of footage of the fat man to keep me company from time to time. And you know, I'm sorry you guys won't hear his little butt crying and screaming in the background anymore. It's going to be much quieter in these videos. But I am looking forward to at least showing you all around and being part of the new experiences here down south. So I will see you later, and I hope everybody else is safe. I hope you're happy. I hope you are inspired. I hope you're moving along on whatever journey you currently are on. And thanks for stopping by. I love you all.